What really happens to us when we're asleep? The thing is, we don't really know, right? Like there's a lot of theories. Scientists have been trying to figure this out for the longest time, and we still don't really understand. Why do we sleep? Why do we dream? Are these dreams of any significance? So I have here the clear Quran with me, and I want to read you the surah that talks about sleep. It's from Surah Al-An'am, and the verse title is Sleep, the twin brother of death. That's already pretty interesting, the fact that sleep is very similar to death. In fact, it's considered to be a minor form of death in Islam. He is the one who calls back your souls by night and knows what you do by day, then revives you daily to complete your appointed term. To him is your ultimate return. Then he will inform you of what you used to do. Okay, so if we were to break this down sentence by sentence, he is the one who calls back your souls by night. So according to the Quran, it's basically saying that when we go to sleep, our souls go back to our Creator, then revives you daily. So then every time we wake up, it's because our souls are back into our body, and then we are brought back to earth to complete your appointed term. I find that ending is very interesting because it could have just ended with then revives you daily, but instead it says to complete your appointed term. We all have this predestined amount of time that we're going to spend on this earth, and it is our obligation and our mission to complete this term. So we know that when we go to sleep, our soul is with our Creator. We are no longer attached to our body. Our soul is no longer attached to our body. It's scientifically proven that when you are in the sleep state, when you're sleeping, you lose consciousness, right? Our brain activity literally changes when we go to sleep. So when we're awake, our brain waves are in beta mode. When we get sleepy, it turns into alpha, and then we go on to theta, and then we go on to delta, which is extremely deep sleep. So our brain activity literally changes when we go to sleep. It slows down. So where do our souls go? According to the Quran, they're with our Creator. Obviously, our Creator exists beyond the universe, beyond the galaxies, beyond anything we could even fathom. And we know that up there, time doesn't exist. Imagine you are on a stranded island and there's nobody else there, and you take a nap and you wake up. How are you going to know the time? And let's say it's in the middle of the night, so there's no daylight. How are you going to know how much time has passed? This tells you how time is completely an illusion, and it's only a man-made thing. If humans didn't exist on this planet, there would be no concept of time. It's a completely man-made thing. When people go out to space, time doesn't exist. So when you go to sleep, you go to a place where time doesn't exist. So it seems like one day in human years is equivalent to 50,000 years. That's how arbitrary time is. When time doesn't exist, everything exists all at once. You can see your entire life when you go to sleep. Imagine it as if you're watching from an aerial view. This is not my theory. This is actually according to someone I saw on TikTok. Her name is Fatana. I'll link her video down below because honestly, I think this theory is like game changing. All right, then what happens when we wake up? We gain consciousness, but we also gain a conscience. Okay, stay with me now. So you know that voice in your head that tells you what you should be doing? Like you should really wake up early. You should go to the gym. You should work on this project that you've been wanting to do for the longest time ever. That is the truest version of you. That is the highest form of you. It's your true self. So there's a version of you who's seen every single outcome of every single decision that you've made in your entire life. That voice is coming from such guidance because you've seen exactly all the ways your life has played out. You've seen all the different outcomes from every single decision that you could have possibly made. So that voice ultimately knows exactly what's best for you because it is you. But what do most of us do?
Don't let me leave, Murph!
We don't listen to that voice, or we allow time to enter. And here's why people say time is the devil. As soon as you allow time to enter, what you also allow in is that version of you that does not believe that they're worthy of your goals, that feels inadequate, that doesn't feel that they're enough, that they're good enough or deserving of everything that you want in this life. And that, you can call it the saboteur, self-sabotage, the nafs, ego. As soon as you allow time to enter, you are delaying all the blessings that you could have had. As soon as we're hit with this creativity or this thought or this idea, it is our duty to act on it as soon as possible. The cost of procrastination is the life you could have lived. And as soon as you allow time to enter, you allow doubt, fear, all to enter. And that ultimately is going to distract you from achieving the best things in your life. We have no idea how good our lives can get. We literally have no idea. And I don't think we even have an inkling of our potential. A lot of us wait until the perfect moment comes, until we're 10 pounds lighter, until we move, until we get a new job or get married. And we push things off in order to wait for the perfect opportunity. Here's the thing, the perfect opportunity will never come. And you're also waiting for something that hasn't even happened in the future, because the future literally doesn't exist. So I had the idea to film this video this morning. Trust me, I came up with all sorts of excuses to get out of it. First of all, it's the dead of winter, so nothing here is aesthetically pleasing to film. Second of all, I live right next to an airport, so there's an airplane every freaking 5 seconds. I'm filming right next to a really busy highway, so I don't even know if the audio quality is gonna be good. And also there's so many people out for some reason walking, and it makes me super self-conscious. Even despite all these, I'm just like, you know what? That is actually perfect, because I can use this as an example for this video. You can't wait for the perfect moment. You just have to do it. Otherwise, you will always allow something to take away a blessing from you. The shorter time there is between saying you'll do something and actually doing the thing, the more successful you'll be and the more closer you'll be to achieving your goals. When you allow space for time, you also allow those other voices in that say, oh, maybe tomorrow, or I'm feeling really tired, I'm gonna do that later, or I'm not good enough to do that yet, or I don't deserve that. These are all actually not you. They're not coming from you, and that's really important to differentiate. The voice that actually is you is the one that wants to achieve these goals, that wants the best for you, that may not be easy or lead to instant gratification, but ultimately is going to lead to long-term success. So earlier in another video, I said that discipline is the highest form of self-love. Okay, now stay with me. Who loves you the most in your entire life? You. Understand that you and only you know what's best for you. So that version of you that's watching your entire life go by while you're sleeping knows exactly what's best for you. And so trust that voice of guidance and follow it through.
Love is the one thing we're capable of perceiving that transcends dimensions of time and space.
It's kind of like when you're watching a movie, the main character doesn't know what's behind that door, right? But you do, because you can see it. And that's exactly the way I view our life. We really don't know anything. We don't know what's best for us. And we may plan every single thing out in our lives, thinking that that is ultimately best for us, right? But I'd much rather place my trust into something that knows what's best for me, that can literally see all the outcomes and know that this is what's ultimately best for me. Honestly, that way of thinking really frees you up, because then you stop worrying about things that are out of your control. You stop worrying about all the hardships that you're going through, and have this like deep sense of trust that you may not see it right now, but it will ultimately work out. You will gain clarity. You will see that what you perceived as a really bad moment in your life, as a really difficult hardship, was actually one of the most beautiful time periods where you had the most transformative change. That's why from here on out, I rarely worry, because I know that as long as I listen to that inner voice and I trust that it's coming out of a place of love for me, nothing can really go wrong. Everything that happens in my life that I perceive as a bad thing ultimately was always for the best. I hope this video helps, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.